Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Grid Girls Down Under podcast. And this week, we are missing both Khalila and Jack. However, we will talk about their predictions for Baku. And this is our last episode with Lucy until she goes away to Silverstone. So,
Sad.
literally,
Sad
so sad. But I thought first we should talk about Monaco. Thoughts, everyone. What do we think? Race delay, Checo win.
What was that start?
Yeah.
What was that whole weekend?
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but in Luke's FP2 stream, I said, imagine if Chico won. You all laughed at me and went, it wouldn't happen. Who's laughing now? Who is laughing now? Hey, for once, I didn't jinx something. I did the exact opposite.
I think I honestly, did I jinx it? I predicted Charles to be P1. He was not
Everyone
P1.
jinxed Charles.
Charles
I
still
did my
haven't
prediction
To be
finished.
fair,
in the F1 play app. It didn't really work the way I thought it was going to go.
But it was fine.
I mean, to
No.
be fair, Charles would have won, but strategy.
Yeah, Ferrari
Ferrari had one,
completely
but here's the
screwed that
Monaco
up.
chaos.
He is
Yeah.
definitely feeling how Seb felt.
Yeah. Yep. He still hasn't finished a Monaco GP. Like
A full
considering,
Monaco
a full
GP.
Monaco GP because, well, that wasn't a full race, which I didn't completely understand why they didn't also like start. Apparently, it was due to the power going out and they didn't have power. But the fact that they waited for so long and then it just like had
Made
a
it
literal
worse.
downpour. Yeah,
Well,
I was
heard
watching with
that-
Formula
Rivers on the
Andy,
track.
actually.
I heard
Yeah.
that they were starting it delayed because of Spa last year and they didn't want what happened there to happen again this year at Monaco. And also because of having new race directors, they're being even more cautious and they also have no idea what they're doing. According to the commentators, these new race directors have no idea what they're doing. So they were being more cautious.
Well,
Over
even
Because of the
cautious.
late
so,
start in the fucked up race.
with like a mixed crash, okay, why did they go from a virtual safety car when we knew it wasn't going to be like a virtual safety
Yeah.
car to a safety car and then to a red flag? That's what I don't
Literally.
understand either.
Literally, they
was-
put it out to a virtual safety car. It's like his
Yeah.
car is in two pieces
Literally.
off the track. Why are
Yeah.
you putting a virtual safety car out?
Yep, it made
It should have
no
just
sense.
been a red flag straight away because they were having to pull the car off the track. There was no way of rolling
Yeah.
it off. They had to
Could also
crane it off and have people
reposition
running
the
across
barrier.
track.
Yeah,
Also,
they
they
had to
put
fix
Pretty
the
much
barrier.
as soon as someone goes into that barrier, it's a red flag because you got to
Yeah.
reposition it.
Exactly. And they just waited so long for it to happen, and then it was eating to the 2 hours, and then it was a nightmare.
But it was also,
a
like,
proper nightmare.
It really wasn't that wet at the start. I feel
No.
like if they had started at the start, yeah, they would have had to red flag it. But they started an hour late. We could have
Yeah.
gotten most of the race in.
Yeah.
And then I don't know.
It would have spiced up the race a little bit more as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
They would have.
At first, I'll admit when they like red flagged it, I was like, I don't get it. Like, it's not really that wet. And then when they showed like the shots, part of it was like the swimming pool section was a
Drenched.
literal swimming pool.
Yeah.
I was like,
But-
ooh, that got wet real fast.
But that was like an hour into it. Like, they could have started it on time.
And
Yeah.
all the confusion on the grid of teams running back
Yeah.
and forth with the tire trolleys, just
Yeah.
chaos. It's like,
I love how
What
we
is
just
going
saw
on?
that for like a good 3 minutes. We were just watching all the and mechanics just
I
running
have
to the
never been
garage.
so invested in people trying to get tires to the grid in my
Right?
life. It was like they were running for their lives. Like it was some
Oh,
Olympic
it was so good.
sport.
No,
But
I-
also, sorry, Zoe, go on.
I felt so bad for some of the mechanics who would have to run the tires by themselves and then have to try and control the spinning trolleys because they wouldn't stay straight. So they'd be
Right.
spinning and trying to like run down the
It was a
pit lane
mess.
to try and get them everywhere.
I have a new respect for the mechanics and the teams and everything after that.
After seeing that,
How
yeah.
soaked were they?
I
And
know.
like they're pretty much in that for the entire day. You just sit there. I'm soaked.
It was
Yeah.
just sitting there.
But
And
we could
imagine how
go.
cold it would have
That would have
been.
been
Yeah.
freezing.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
like, imagine all the people at Monaco, like all the people, or like the rich people in their yachts. When it started raining, they would have been like, "Oh, this is so annoying." Just going like,
God damn the weather.
The amount of people on those big, like the rich people on their yachts that would have like gone and then watched it on the TV, like inside the yacht because of the rain. Honestly,
I would
literally,
have loved
it's
to
a
have been
different
one of
level
the
of
people
luxury.
in the cafes or the restaurants or just the apartments, because you wouldn't have had to deal with the rain. You could just sit there, stand
Yeah.
outside
Just
your window,
watch.
and be fine.
That's my goal one day, just to be in one of those Monaco apartments. Shall we all do it
Yes.
together? Fine,
that
you've
us?
convinced
Apartment in
me.
Monaco.
Is that us?
Yes.
I'll just
All
go
of
and
us.
look at all of. I'll just go and look at like.
That
I'll just
Grid
go to
Girls
real
Down
estate
Under
when
take
I'm over
Monaco.
there.
Grid
Yeah.
Girls Down Under take on Monaco, but we live there. Would we live there? I don't know.
One day, Grid Girls Down Under will
That would
take
be
on the
so-
world and just go to like every F1 race.
Literally.
Grid Girls Down
We
We
Under
partner
abroad.
with F1. I was going to say with Ferrari. I don't know why we partner with just Ferrari. We partner with F1. And we
Hey,
travel
Ferrari,
with
if
them.
you do want to take us,
Yeah.
not say no.
Not saying no.
Not say
Anyone?
no.
I was just laughing at why I chose one specific team when I'm also more of a Mercedes fan.
Yeah, I'm a Red Bull fan.
Literally, I would
McLaren.
I would say a McLaren, but I'm just a Danny Rick fan. So
Erin's just like wherever Jenny Rick is,
I
that's
was
where I am.
born. That's
R.I.P.
literally me.
Lando
Literally,
Norris.
literally me.
Literally.
Okay, I'm a Red Bull fan, but I'm also a Danny Rick fan, which turned me into a Renault fan, which turned me into a McLaren fan.
She's all
Where is he
over the
going
shop.
next?
Honestly, where is he going
Mercedes.
next?
Aston Martin.
With George.
Aston Martin.
Danny
Tori?
and George in Mercedes.
Wait, I would love that.
That would be one
Respectfully,
gorgeous
yeah.
drive up.
Ew, I
Lineup.
just
Driver
slapped my
lineup.
name.
Drive up.
That would be.
That would be a gorgeous driver. He is a
Also,
gorgeous
It
driver.
It is
Side
he is a
note-
gorgeous driver. They both are.
Side note: George, top 5 every race. Still.
I know.
Iconic. He will
Insane.
become a
Deal.
world champion.
Is he still?
And
Did Monaco screw up the only driver to finish every lap of the season?
oh,
Maybe.
Because technically they didn't finish all the laps, but he still
Yeah.
finished on the lead lap.
Yeah.
oh, I assume so.
Technically, he's still the only driver to finish every single lap.
Go
That's true.
George.
Mr. Consistent.
We even missed his like the TV or the broadcasters didn't show his like the overtake he did on Lando.
Yeah.
sad is
Did you
that?
see Lando's
Yeah.
comment
I
to
was
that
gonna
though?
say, what about Lando's comment about
Yeah.
that?
That was funny.
Sassy.
Oh, he's become so unhinged since Charlotte left.
Yeah,
Oh,
Charlotte's gone, and
honestly.
now we just see unhinged.
No one's
Orlando.
got their thumb on him. Like,
Yeah,
no one's got
stop.
control.
You can tell
Stop
these-
Quiet.
talking.
Stop talking.
You can tell there's been no media training there, and that it was all just like the power of Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
And
One
Charlotte
look
being,
from
like,
her, or
the,
she
like,
One
just
look,
stand
yeah,
next
it would
to
have just
him,
been like,
and he's like
you.
falling into a trap. He's gonna say something that's gonna be so funny. She's like,
enough,
No.
cut it,
Or
cut
it's the
it.
shoulder tap. It's the just come on, Lando.
Yeah, literally.
she knew exactly when he was gonna fall into something as well. Just like, and there it is. We're out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time out that
Pull
one.
the
Time
arm.
out.
Let's go.
Stop talking, Lando.
Just
It's time for bed.
leave.
Time for
Well,
bed.
That was
Time
the
for bed.
massage comment last year.
Oh,
When Lando sitting there cracking out
yeah.
laughing, didn't get what he was saying. Charlotte's like, okay.
She was like, okay, let's leave. Let's stop this
Time to go
conversation now.
I remember that. It was bad.
Priceless.
Oh, unhinged.
Or then Lando then walks into interviews with him and he starts saying something and Lando's just standing there staring at him like already laughing because he's like, I don't trust you.
Oh,
Walks
At
in,
least what's it
2
called?
words, leaves.
No, at least there's no what's his name anymore to interview him.
yeah, I was
Ziggo?
gonna, is
Ziggy.
it Ziggy?
Ziggy.
Yeah, where did they
Ziggo.
go?
Zigo.
I think they got dissolved or
Sorry.
something.
I
Or
liked them.
departed
They
with.
were always
They were really
funny.
entertaining. They always had
Yeah.
the best interviews.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
Dutch, weren't they?
Yes.
Now it's
I don't
Viva
know.
Play. Viva Play? Viva Play.
Is
But
it
it
the
was
same guy
just-
though? I don't think it is.
No, I
No,
don't think so.
No.
I don't think he wanted to work for them. He wanted to stay sort of on his own.
Oh, I like their interviews. They were really
They were
entertaining.
really
They
entertaining.
were.
I loved them.
I love them too.
I also love all of Natalie's interviews. I just love that.
I love Natalie.
She's just
And I
funny.
actually really do like
They-
Naomi.
No,
Yeah.
Ted's interviews are still
Yeah,
Top
can we
tier.
talk about the
Ziggo Sport lost the Dutch broadcasting rights of Formula One, so they therefore had to stop their interviews as well.
oh, that's really sad. Did you just look it up?
Yeah, because I didn't want to say the wrong thing.
I was like, wow, full of knowledge you are, Zoe.
Yeah. She just knows
Just
it
know
Off
all.
the top of your head, yeah.
Photographic memory. She just reads things and just remembers.
Speaking of interviewers, Martin's grid walk. A secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Jacob
So-
Elordi and the Bridgerton lady whose name I forget.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
you're
so
gonna
sorry.
if you're gonna go onto the grid, right? If you're gonna go onto the grid before the race starts, at least have a general idea of who Ted is. You don't have to talk to him. But
Oh,
at
I
least
said
be respectful
Martin.
of
I
who
meant
he
Martin.
is. I mean Martin.
Oh, sorry.
Martin, not Ted. That was me. At least know who Martin is. Just know of him. Know he's this short little old dude who'll come up to you with a microphone and start asking
Yeah.
you questions. You don't have to
Yeah.
answer him. You don't have to say much. Just be polite.
He is actually quite short.
It
I'm
is.
just remembering when I saw him in real life. Like, he's tiny.
You know what? I think I'm almost as tall as him, and I'm short as yeah.
I need to remember what he looks like next to Yuki, and then I'll kind of understand.
But then came the conversation of should celebrities be on the grid walk beforehand?
No.
Thoughts?
But it's also like, why didn't you know what? Scotty James is on the grid.
Oh,
Did
that
go
was
up
so
to-
entertaining.
Did
Yeah.
you
was
go
gonna
up to
say,
him? I
unless
don't
they're
remember seeing
like
that.
No.
unless they're like Scotty James or I don't know,
Well-
David Beckham, like people who actually know something about the
Yeah.
sport.
What's it called?
Like-
McDreamy.
They should have just interviewed
Dempsey.
Gizzy.
Oh my god, Patrick Dempsey.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
loves like F1
loves
and loves.
Formula One.
They should have
Monaco
just
Grand Prix.
interviewed Gizzy.
I know.
I
we
would
did
have
not
just
even get
loved to
one
have seen
second
that
of Gizzy.
interaction. That would have been so entertaining.
I know. I didn't even know he was there until he posted
I didn't know it was there. I had actually completely. Okay, I had a blonde moment. I'm pretty sure there might be a little bit of blonde in my hair.
Yeah,
After
I
it-
can see it.
When Gizzy posted that he was in Monaco, I was like, why are you in Monaco? Why are you in Monaco? Because he's doing the 24-hour Le Mans in France this
You know
weekend.
what? I didn't even make that connection.
I was like,
actually.
oh, I'm an idiot. That's why he's over there.
I was
Yeah,
So it
like,
wasn't
I just
until
thought
I
that he
saw the
just, like,
testing
went to
data and
Monaco.
everything, and I was like, oh, duh. Monaco
Yeah.
is attached to France. He's already over there. It's like, oh, I
Makes
felt so
sense.
dumb for a second.
It-
One
yeah,
moment-
I didn't make that connection. Not gonna lie.
I would have never made
Not
that
going to lie.
connection.
Then I had that moment of, hang on, when's the next supercars race? It's not this weekend, it's the weekend
It's
after.
yeah. I was,
I was like, that, okay, that's fine. It makes sense.
Common Sam.
I'm gonna
even
miss
I
that.
know
Ah,
that.
okay,
No.
my life is a little bit crazy. I have
That's the
so
weekend
many
in
things to
Canada.
remember.
I'm going to be on a plane during the Canadian Grand Prix, which makes me really sad.
No.
I'm actually excited for Canada.
I'm not. gonna
I'm so
watch
excited for
it.
Canada. I love Canada.
Me too. I was playing it today on the F1 game. I was like, wait, I really am excited for Canada to be back.
I miss Canada. It's one of my favorites on that fun game. Baku
Yeah.
is also one of my absolute
My biggest
favorite.
flex is
This
Erin
is
is
my
in her
favourite.
element.
whilst I
Oh,
have
I'm-
never finished Monaco, I did finish Jeddah the first try.
Well, I'm impressed.
First
I-
try, didn't even lose a front
I
wing, and I
filmed-
finished it. I was like, let's go.
I
Baku,
tried today.
first try, finished it.
I did not.
Baku.
I was like today. I tried to film like a play. I was like doing like time trials and like filming it, and I did Baku and literally every single one. It was in like a minute 50.
Rock
I just kept
on.
hitting the wall. Then I did Canada. Canada was better. I actually changed my time. Like I got a better time by like 10 seconds. And then I did Silverstone as well, which was atrocious. But I forgot to press record, so thank God.
I had a love-hate
Redeem myself.
relationship with Silverstone.
Same with
Me too.
So I was only playing it because my brother stayed with me, and he bought his PC and his wheel. And one night we did every single race on the calendar.
I remember that.
That was torture. There was a
That's
lot
a
of
lot.
restarting and a lot of
Yeah.
torture.
Fair enough.
Didn't finish Monaco. Got to the point where I was like, I'm not even turning into the first corner. I don't want to
Yeah.
do this.
I'm not even.
And I let you do what you want, and you just like drive up to turn 2 and then turn around and start coming the other direction. He's like, yeah, I'm done too.
That's
But,
enough. Monaco for one night.
Then on the last night he stayed, right before it was Imola, so he was staying with me over the Imola Grand Prix weekend. I had decided that we would do the 100% race distance Imola Grand Prix. Do you know how hard it is to stare at a screen for that long?
Yeah.
And you get
Concentrating
so
And
as
doing
well.
the gear shifts and
Yeah.
everything. Oh,
Yeah.
it was.
Gear shifts.
I did
have
it.
never done it, and I don't think
I did
ever
it. And I finished in the points. I
My
did have
foot
to
was
change my front wing
cramping today.
once. I was just the pedals kept moving on the ground, so every now and then I'd get to the pit straight, and I'd have to like hook my foot under the pedal and pull it back to me. It was
See,
it was falling apart at the end. But I still finished in the
when I
point.
was doing that today, I must be like the angle of my pedals, but I kept getting a cramp in like the foot that I used to break, like my left
I
foot.
get that.
What are
all
you,
the
Max
time.
Verstappen?
I'm really hurt.
But speaking of tracks coming up, guys, what circuit do we have next?
Erin's
Baku.
favorite.
We have my absolute freaking
You would
favorite.
never see Erin as
Her one
happy as
true
she is
love.
with Baku.
It is a good
Honestly.
track.
It is a good track. I have people in my comments being like, "It's Monaco is like better."
Monaco is
You know
not
what?
better than Baku.
Monaco
I don't
was
trust
only-
anyone
yeah.
who doesn't like Baku.
Right.
Literally.
And the only like we had a decent race out at Monaco this year because of the different like
Yeah.
weather changing constantly. We had to go from wet tires to inters.
It was only
to
interesting because
slicks.
of the rain.
Yeah, it made it interesting.
And the questioning Ferrari strategy call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very interesting. But Baku, is that how I say it?
Baku.
Baku. I'll just say it like an Aussie. Baku. We have that next, and I've never been more excited in my whole entire life.
I'm very excited. And
I am
we're
so
on
excited.
a Sunday, guys.
I know,
Sunday,
9 p.m.
It'll
I mean,
finish
for you
like
guys,
Monday morning for
yeah,
us Kiwis,
but
but
that's
that's
still
okay.
better.
That's okay.
but it
It
starts on a Sunday.
Yeah,
Starts.
I get to be a Sunday fangirl.
Finally.
Maybe I need to buy one of those hats just for the 3 races a year. I get to be a Sunday fangirl.
Literally. Literally. But speaking of Baku, guys, predictions.
I still don't know.
I really
know.
don't know either.
I've got some
Okay.
bold.
Soon, here with bold predictions.
I've
Go
thought
on.
about. Well, I haven't really thought about this. This is just. I just wanted to say it. I want Chico to win. I think Chico
Ooh.
can win. Let's go back to back. Monaco to Baku wins. Back to back. Baku to Baku wins.
Checo
That's that.
passes Charles in points and becomes a 1-2 Red Bull. Yoss gets really, really
Well.
angry. and it becomes a dramatic
Wait.
season.
Wait until you hear the rest of this prediction.
Ooh.
Because then I'm
Ooh.
following him up with
Drum
both
roll,
the
please.
Ferraris.
Ooh. In what
Where's
order?
Max?
Unfortunately, I don't see Max finishing.
No.
I know.
I mean, look
and
at
that's
his
because I'm a
track
Max
record.
fan. He Lance Stroll has more Baku podiums than Max does.
So true. It hurts every time.
I just don't see him finishing. I think there's a little bit of angst in him at the moment. And we've all seen what happens when that comes out.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Sam. None whatsoever. Care
My
to
favorite.
explain? Elaborate.
Oh, well, we saw it in after qualifying. He was not happy in
Yeah.
Monaco. He was not happy.
Spain.
I definitely
With
think
his
there's a
inner
little bit of
rage.
that like 2018 Max just
Oh, Brazil 2018
just
specifically.
wanting to come back out and play.
2017.
So I don't see him finishing this. I could be entirely wrong, and like I hope I'm entirely wrong.
That's different.
But I also
See,
hope I'm not wrong, because that would be really, really great prediction.
Yeah, that's a very spicy prediction.
So it's Chico and both the Ferraris. I'm not
What
attempting
order?
to pick that order.
No,
I want
why
it to
not?
be Carlos over Charles. But I
Spicy.
think no, let's go Carlos over Charles. Let's just caution in the wind. Chico,
Love it.
Carlos,
Let's go,
Charles.
Carlos.
Triple C podium.
A triple C
Triple C.
podium.
The triple
C.
C's back. Hopefully it works this time.
didn't
Right.
last time.
No, it didn't.
I'm thinking about the straights.
Okay.
It
Tell us what
reminded
you're
me
thinking.
today when I was playing it on the game. I was like, that's a long straight. Isn't it like 1.4
porpoising?
miles or something?
Porpoising on
Yeah.
that straight?
I think the Red Bulls are going to have the upper hand on the Ferraris this weekend. And I think it's going to be a Red Bull 1-2. And as I know it's going to be a Ferrari third, but I kind of want it to be like something different, but I don't know who. So I'm going to go with Checo.
What about? Oh no,
Max.
I'm not, yeah.
Max, Checo, Charles.
Ooh, spicy.
Just like as much as I want it to be like Lando or Daniel or Pierre or someone different or like Seb P3, I feel like it'll be Charles.
Yeah.
Nice.
Zoe.
I think for me, I'm just really dreaming this weekend. I dream every weekend. I hope for something good. Max P1. because Max. P2, Lewis, because Lewis. P3, Carlos.
P3, Carlos.
I want
Carlos.
Max, Lewis, and Carlos. I don't know why. I mean, I just want Lewis to podium. I'm really dreaming there. But I don't know what my thought process behind that is, but I can't think of anyone else on the podium.
No, I love that.
Erin, what are you?
I was trying to find Jack's predictions. So we know Jack loves her cheeky,
What's her
lovely.
wacky 3 this week?
So for P1, she's got Charles. For P2, she's got Max. And her random P3 podium, she's got, drum roll please. And I would actually personally love to see this. But the likes of this happening, I mean, it's Jack's predictions. She's got Alex.
I would
Albano.
cry if
I would
Albano
cry
got
as
on
well.
that podium.
Right? I would.
And I
absolutely
also
love-
think George would be spewing if Alex got a podium
Could
in a
you
Williams.
imagine? Especially like no
Like a
offense to
legitimate
George.
podium.
Yeah,
Not a
exactly what I was about to say.
not a Spa 2021 podium.
Not like a one lap of the race done based on quality podium. My
But
predictions.
George, I mean,
sorry, no, you
no,
go.
Alex really is like, you know, George is Mr. Saturday, Alex is Mr. Sunday. Like,
With his red hair.
yeah,
Alex
like he never qualifies well, but in the race he
Controversial
always does
opinion.
well.
At the moment is if you're comparing like 2021 George to 2022 Alex is performing slightly better.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Alex is surprising me this year. He's doing a lot better than I thought.
I don't think he hasn't made it into Q2 though, has he? Yeah.
One, I was looking at
Once?
I think motorsport.com. I think the Williams have only made one Q2.
Q2, yeah. So he's
appearance.
qualifying it, like George would kind of like, he would make it into Q2 pretty often. So I think that, but Alex seems to make up a lot more on the Sunday compared to what George used to. George used to qualify well, but then come the Sunday he would never really keep his spot. He would always drop down.
What was
Mm.
Alex's qualifying like with Red Bull though, and Toro Rosso?
I do not know.
Has he always been
And not very good qualifier.
a poor qualifier?
Yeah, I don't know.
It'd be something to look at.
Yeah, that's
Gonna research that.
yeah. We might just do that after this.
I'm
Yeah.
intrigued.
Oh, that was some punky noises. I apologize.
Erin, what's your
Okay.
favorite track? What's your prediction?
My
What's your
favorite
prediction?
track. I actually really don't know. I think like with Lucy. I want to she just gave me the dirtiest look just then. I don't know how the Ferraris are going to perform on this track. Long straight, porpoising, I'm kind of scared about it. And even Mercedes as well, because I know Lewis was having a lot of problem. And Monaco, it's not like a long track at all. Anyways, okay, I think I'm going to say, despite all that, Charles P1. No, I take that back. Checo P1. Like Sam, back-to-back wins. But instead, I'm going to say Carlos, no. Oh my God, I'm having difficulty. Charles P2, and I'm going to say George P3. That's what I
Okay.
think.
You haven't put Carlos on the podium. Is Carlos going to finish this race? Do you see Carlos finishing this race?
I hope so. There's no gravel traps. I really hope he does. But also, like, I really want, like, no, you know what? Instead of George, I'm going to put Lando P3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm going to put Lando P3. Maybe, no, you know what? I'm going to put George P2, Lando P3. I take that back.
Baku has
Okay. Are we skip
dreaming?
Carlos not being on the podium? Is Charles going to finish this race?
I don't know. Do you reckon
No.
he's going to finish this race? Do you reckon he's going to finish this race?
Are we going to get a rerun of Mr. I Am Stupid?
Yeah, well, that's what
Yes.
I'm nervous about.
Yeah.
I
Just
feel
in
like-
case you were wondering, sorry, Baku has one of the longest straights out of all the Formula One circuits.
Yeah, that's why I'm not like, should I put Charles and P? No, I said Charles and P1, but I've put Checo as P1. That's why I'm like nervous. Should
You're
I put the
having an
Ferraris?
internal battle here.
I am. Can you tell? Is it that obvious? Be honest.
We started with Charles P1, then it's gone to Checo P1, Charles P2.
Are
Now
you writing
it's
all
George
this down?
P2. It started off with George P3. Now we've gone to Lando P3. You're having a very big battle here.
I know. I don't know what to do. I don't
Just
know
put
what to
bets
do.
on all the multis and let's just see what happens.
Yeah, Danny Rick podium P1. That's it.
Redemption Day?
Redemption Day at Baku.
three.
Well done, Baku.
Redemption Day part 3.
Please, I would actually thoroughly enjoy that. I just
I
don't
would be
know.
so smug if he got Redemption Day
Ooh.
again.
Yeah,
Charles
same.
has the lap record at Baku.
As when
Unless
did
this
he?
is wrong. This is 2019. It says that he got a 1.43. 0.00009.
Interesting.
That may be wrong and outdated.
That's what I was talking about.
Lewis Hamilton is a movie producer.
Hang on, before we get distracted, we have Khalila's predictions.
Yes, Khalila's predictions.
Shocking.
Yeah, they're surprising.
Yeah.
They are, whoa!
Yeah.
She's
Have I
So-
rubbed off on her a little bit too much?
So Sam has definitely rubbed off on Khalila because her P1 prediction is Max Verstappen. P2, she said Checo, and P3, she has said Pierre Gasly.
She has not put the
Any
There's no
Ferrari
Ferraris.
fan has not put a Ferrari on the
Any
podium.
Ferraris, not one.
She got a Red Bull shirt and she's been acting different since.
I think it is like it's the straights are gonna be the killer for Ferrari this week.
Yeah.
Like she's gonna struggle.
guess
I
we'll
also
go for
think
She's gonna struggle.
I also think that Carlos is trying so hard to beat Charles that he is
Gonna
over
push
pushing
himself.
it, and Charles is trying too hard to win this championship that he is pushing it too far as well.
Yeah.
The drivers are pushing themselves too far that they're like jinxing themselves, and then the team is not helping with strategies. Okay, Monaco.
Ferrari are cracking under the pressure.
I think we put too much hope in them being like, oh look, we've got the
They
good
actually
strategy calls
did.
again,
Yeah.
and they just came back out a little bit like, just kidding, we just took a holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We were just on vacation. Not at Monaco though.
probably
we went there.
partied too hard in Monaco before the race instead of after the race.
Okay.
Anyways,
Next.
talking about Lewis Hamilton. Sorry, I just want to
No,
put
This
this
is
in
we're
here
just gonna
being
move
a
into like the
producer.
news and stuff, aren't we now?
Yeah, it's just
There's so much going on in the world of F1.
There is a
it really
lot.
is.
The Apple has officially announced that they are going to make a movie about Formula One, and Brad Pitt is going to be in it. Lewis Hamilton is going to be producing it, and the director of Top Gun Maverick is going to be directing it. I am so excited. It's going to be
Wow.
so good.
do
So
you
good.
think
I
it's
hope
gonna
I
be
got all
about?
of that correct. I have no idea, but Lewis Hamilton is producing it, so it's going to be good.
I really want to know what it's going to be about. Like,
Do we get to have our very own Miles Teller beach scene?
For those who haven't watched Top Gun
I
Maverick,
have not.
Have you been living under a rock?
I
That
have
scene
not
is
seen it.
everywhere.
But I've
Haven't
seen
you?
that
It's
scene.
all-
I haven't
have
seen
you
the
not seen it on
movie, but I've
TikTok?
seen this.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen it on TikTok.
Okay, I was going to say, have you not seen
My-
the scene?
For You page has been taken over by him.
yeah, everyone's
It's
getting
insane.
back
To be
to,
fair,
so
like,
is
a
mine, but I'm
Miles
not
Teller's
complaining.
face, yeah. Who
He
is?
was fine in Footloose, he was fine in Divergent, and he is fine in Top Gun.
Divergent. That was my cup of tea. That was
It's
my
like-
cup of tea.
I wish that like dystopian like genre of movies made a comeback. You know, like Divergent, Hunger Games.
I missed
Where did
that.
those movies go? Like Maze Runner.
I was
Literally.
such a fan.
Where did it go?
There was
I-
a whole
yeah.
few years of them, and then that whole genre just disappeared.
Yeah, yeah. Should I get all my books out? Maybe it'll make them all come back again.
I just want it to come back. Bring it back, please.
Literally. But while we're on the topic of news, Checo extension. Where
The
does
fact
that leave
he-
Pierre?
But also the fact that he spoiled. Like,
Yeah.
he
That was
said
so
it.
funny.
The most-
That was
Do you reckon they would have?
hilarious.
Do you reckon they
I
would have
don't-
announced it
Yeah,
after?
I
if he
wonder-
hadn't said, I think maybe I signed too early.
I wonder when they were going to announce it.
Yeah.
But,
Was it
like, he'd
just
already
straight after
signed.
Monaco?
Yeah, but yeah.
So it's not like they were like waiting to be like, we don't know if we're going to give it to you because
Did he get he got a 2-year extension, didn't he?
He is there until the end of 2024, which means at the end of that contract, he will have been with Red Bull for as long as Daniel Ricciardo was with Red Bull.
Rock on. I miss that Red Bull face.
I miss that.
Is Checo now going to start going through what Pierre and Daniel and all of the other second drivers went through? Is he going to start hating his position, or is he going to continue being the positive? That's what
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
He knows he's the second driver.
Yeah.
But we saw in Spain there was a little bit of
feud
tension in the Red Bull garage with him and that controversial team orders.
Mm-hmm.
But after we've seen that Horner's come out and said whoever ends up going for a championship he'll support. He's not if Checo's going for the championship against Max, he's not going to prioritize one of them.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
But is he not? Like he's already we're already 7 races in. Is he not going for that championship? That's what
he is now.
He wants that championship.
Yeah.
A championship.
The championship is honestly anyone's at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
but
not
even
anyone.
at
It could
Spain,
be like Checo's, Charles.
Yeah. But even at Spain, I thought it could have been anyone's. Well, only race 5.
Yeah.
Race 6. Race 5. I don't know.
I feel like it's all going to go well, and it could go Checo's way until Jos fully steps in. I feel like Jos ruin it.
But does he have any sort of stake in Red Bull as a team? Has he got any sort of money?
His son.
His son.
Obviously. But can he really make them change decision that much?
No, I don't think so.
No, but he's just a very angry Dutch man, and so everyone kind of just
we've all heard the rumors.
Have we?
What
rumors?
We'll discuss that later. We'll discuss that later.
Okay.
I feel like Jos will step in and interrupt it more than Horner or Marco will. Either. I feel like Jos will do more than Marco or Horner at this point.
We all know Red Bull favors Max. They always have.
Well,
just like every team with specific drivers.
But I have no idea.
But if they ruin Checo's chances, I'm going to be livid.
I'll be livid with you.
And I'm a Red Bull fan. And I will be the first to be absolutely livid with them.
Should I get my Red Bull jacket that I got #gifted?
Yeah. Where's my Red Bull jacket?
Yeah. I know. The Red Bull fan.
We also talk about Daniel Ricciardo.
Yes, Daniel.
I don't want to admit it.
He's not washed.
He's not washed.
He is far from washed.
McLaren, all I have to say is McLaren aren't helping him. All they're doing is talking shit behind his back to the media.
Is it really McLaren though?
Or is it just Zach?
Andreas has been
naming names. Zach Brown is shitting on his driver instead of helping his driver. That is
Zach Brown is a walking red flag. If you are signing and you read his comments that when you sign, and it's just expectation after expectation after expectation, but no communication of we hope we can give you the facilities, work with you to achieve this. Run the other direction.
I feel like everybody always loves, Zach was always seen he was McLaren always seemed like such a family. And Andreas and Zach were just lovely, and I feel like now it's kind of taking a turn.
The Drive to Survive season 4, I laughed and I went, it's made the way they edited it made Zach out to be a dick.
Yeah.
Did it really edit it that way though?
Or was he actually just
I'm seeing all this come out now and I'm like,
you're seeing the red flags. More red flags than Jeddah.
Them red flags ain't looking very green. Let's just say that.
He has his hopes too high that when his hopes and dreams are crushed, he doesn't want to take it out on himself. So he takes it out on the driver when really he is sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes the one in the wrong. But he doesn't, of course, want to believe that because nobody wants to believe themselves in that situation, which sucks.
I think the person who made the video about, I was on YouTube, I forgot who it was, and they were describing what car Daniel needs and McLaren's car. They gave good insight as to why Daniel probably isn't performing at his optimal best. But Sam, you made some great points. about Daniel and McLaren
Okay, so
and
I'm just for context here.
Zach.
In what Zach Brown says, this is like this week recent. Aris McLaren IndyCar has just signed Alexander Rossi for the 2023 season. This is what Zach Brown said, and this is a direct quote from McLaren. Alex is a proven race winner and an Indianapolis 500 champion who shares our desire to win. It is essential that we put the right talent in place both inside and outside the car so we can consistently compete for championships and race wins as a team. He is someone we have had our eye on for some time, and we are excited to see what he'll do as part of Arrow McLaren SP.
Yeah, nothing about giving him
Nothing
a
about we
car.
want to work with him. It's just we want a driver who's talented, put him in the car, he'll win.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
I'm sorry, they thought
Yeah.
that would happen with Danny, but then Danny wasn't comfortable in the car.
It's not how it works.
They did.
As a
I
team,
think they did
you
work
need to
a
give
bit.
the team, you need to give your driver the backing and the machinery to do something, and not
Yeah.
just
Just the
about him
emotional
behind the back.
support.
Which I think they did last year, but I think now they're all like, "Oh, I'm sick of doing this now. Like, we're just going to."
But it's a new season and new
Yeah,
cars.
New
new
regs,
regulations.
like,
Yeah.
Cut him
You
some
can't
slack.
base it off last year when it's just
Like, yeah,
completely
he
different.
struggled last year, but now
Exactly.
there's an entire reset. So it's a new car to get used to again.
Yeah.
And like that's the only Lando has only ever driven that McLaren as well.
Yeah.
That is the only Formula One car he has ever driven, and wasn't he with McLaren for 2 years before he was in Formula One anyway?
So that
He's
that
done his-
McLaren
he
car
do, like,
was
tests
pretty
and
much
things like that as
built
well.
based off how Fernando Alonso drove.
Yeah.
Now, with Lando being a McLaren Academy kid, he had obviously driven and seen how Fernando drove. So when he
Yeah.
came in, he had already pretty much adapted to that car.
Exactly.
Like, it was a difficult car to drive, but he had already come through the ranks, seeing it all, watching it all, pretty much learning, being taught how to drive that car. Daniel's come in, hopped in a car that's pretty much still set up for Fernando Alonso and been told, drive that.
And I feel like people need
how it
to
works.
need a little bit of a reality check sometimes. Daniel Ricciardo is McLaren's only race winner in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He
And
is,
you can say people
yeah.
can say anything they want about that win. That it was like, oh, he only won because Lewis and Max crashed out. Like, no, because he
Okay.
also qualified that close. The sprint
Yeah.
race, he changed positions. Like he went up position in the sprint race. Like
P3
Yeah.
started on the
Yeah.
front row for the
How
race.
many laps did he lead? How many laps did anyone else lead?
literally. Was he? I have to rewatch that, honestly. Was he in front from the start? He was, wasn't he?
Was-
Guys, I can't remember.
Yeah, weren't they chasing him down?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they
that's-
were, and they were maxing
Yeah.
other pits. Yeah.
Rock on. Go Danny Rick. My guy. But yeah.
Also, but I think people are just looking at all the negatives of Denny Rick now, and it's like,
Yeah. Saying he's washed, blah blah blah.
yeah.
He's not
I don't
washed. He's
see
still a
any-
great driver.
Yeah, and I think people are like, oh, he's gonna retire. Like, look at him. But like, I don't think he's. I think the only driver I think that will retire this year is Seb.
Seb. Yeah.
We talk about though for some reason. So yes, there's been like over the past few years, there's been the comments of Daniel and Seb and Kimmy and all of those guys being old and being washed and blah blah blah. But it hasn't really been that bad. Kimmy retires. All of a sudden, we go into this new season. Everyone's adjusting to new cars, and all of a sudden, all of these drivers who are in their 30s are now all washed and horrible drivers and can't
Right.
race and shouldn't be in the sport and have never been good. I'm like, where is this coming
Because
from? When
they've
these guys
driven-
were the
they-
top of the sport.
Exactly.
Like-
They drove with the old, they were in the old regulations. That was what they drove for most of their Formula One careers. Of course, it's going to take them a bit of time to adjust.
Yeah.
But-
yes.
Like no one's talking about the like newer younger drivers struggling. It's all all
Yeah.
of these older drivers are just washed. They can't.
Like,
They're not
not
understanding
just-
these cars. I'm
not-
like the younger
But like
drivers.
Yuki
aren't
hasn't
either.
performed as well this year as he did last year. Really, has he? Like
Actually,
compared to what he was performing at the end of the season.
I think Yuki's performing pretty well.
yeah,
Isn't
I was gonna say. I think-
Isn't
I
it
don't
Pierre
know,
who's
I
not
don't-
performing very
Yeah.
well?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like, I feel like they never show Yuki.
Yeah.
Because Yuki, I
Oh yeah,
feel
no,
like
they
I
do
have
show
not
Yuki, but I
seen
d- I don't
Yuki
think
shown
he,
every
like he's
person
performing
before.
quite well. I think he's
he's
performing
actually
better
more
than Pierre.
points. Yeah, I think he's got
Is
more
he?
points than Pierre at
Yeah.
the moment.
Okay, don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm
AlphaTauri's
talking
just been
about.
flying under the radar of
They-
not
I feel like
exceptionally
they
great and
have.
not terrible. Just a
But, like,
midfield team.
They're just there.
Yeah.
That's what I've been noticing, which is weird
Yes,
about
Yuki.
what I've been noticing, which is weird about this season, is all of the drivers who are in their like mid to late 30s are washed and are horrible drivers and should either be fired or should leave the sport themselves.
That's
Right?
actually
They should
Unless
retire.
it's Checo.
Drivers there's been a whole bunch of drivers that haven't had coverage at all. They've had very minimal coverage from like
I have not seen
Sky
Yuki at
Sports and
all.
all of those. There's been no
Actually,
TV
now that I think about it, I
coverage,
haven't either.
and there's only been focus on
The
those
top,
like the top and then
Well,
Lewis.
And then all of
But
the
not
British
even-
drivers.
Yeah, but then not even
Okay.
Lewis either. Like he has, but he hasn't.
I
Because
feel
he's
like they do just like they just will say in the they'll be doing like the race car exams, be like, oh, and Lewis Hamilton is down in this place, and we'll show him for a bit.
But I'm like,
that's it.
last year there was this big battle between, you know, Mercedes, Red Bull, between Max and Lewis and everything. It was a massive battle, but we still got to see the whole grid, and we got like an even
'Cause there was-
coverage of
there was
everyone
battles
in
the
the
whole
grid,
way
right?
down the grid.
Yeah.
This year,
Yeah,
there's
and more this
literally
year.
like there's no coverage, yet there's all of these battles. Like in Monaco, we
Like,
saw
almost
nothing.
Yeah.
How many
so
how
much
many
happened.
overtakes
Miami,
did Pierre make? How many overtakes did Seb make?
literally.
Where were they?
Yeah, yeah.
I
And
mean,
just-
George
the
himself
whole
said they didn't even
Miami
show his
Grand Prix.
overtake on Lando.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm just
Um,
confused.
The
yeah,
driver rankings
yeah.
don't. Yeah, pretty much all drivers have points except for Mick and Latifi.
Yeah,
And
Then there's been
Hulkenberg,
battles. Yeah, but
you have to include him because he raced.
yeah, I know he's on there. I see him. I love you, Hulkenberg. Love him, but like
love you, Nico.
he's not like, you know.
Nico.
And like every
Hulkenberg.
every team has had points on the board for like a while as well.
Yeah,
I
Hasn't-
need Mick
hasn't-
to.
Hasn't
points.
every team had points since like the second or third race?
yeah. It was like
Since
one of the
Alex got
highest.
points in second in the second. Oh,
Oh,
Aston Martin didn't get points until the third race though, didn't they?
But they did have their main driver just
Yeah.
sick and
Yeah.
out of it for most
Yeah.
of it. But
main driver.
sorry, Stroll.
face
I'm
it,
sorry.
The main driver
holds
is
my
Stroll.
heart.
not Lance.
Lawrence
holds
is
my heart.
fuming.
I'm sorry. Seb just holds a special
Lawrence
place
Stroll's
in my
gonna
heart.
come
Fuming
for
over
us
the
for now.
opinion of some very young women from Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's how that works.
But on
No,
the topic
obviously.
of we're not really on
Fuming.
the topic of Latifi anymore, but talking about fuming, yes. What about Williams and how they're now very upset with themselves over a little mistake they made?
What was the fine?
in between the seasons?
20,
was like 25,000.
25,000
Yeah.
Effectively,
euros.
some missed
Sorry.
paperwork.
Oh no, was it 25,000 euros or dollars?
No, euros.
So basically like 50,000
50 grand,
dollars
Yeah,
in our
so
money.
pretty much
Literally some
Williams
paperwork
forgot to
cost
sign
them
some
50 grand.
paperwork about the budget caps for this
They
season, and now
lodged
they've been
the-
fined
how did you screw that up?
25,000 euros. 25,000. I'm like, over literally one little signature, which is insane. Like, I know it's a big important thing for the sport and for racing and money and everything, but it's just insane. One little signature on a page cost them 25,000 euros. That's
It's
what
so
I don't
silly,
understand.
isn't it?
It's just
Money
it's
is
just
such a-
paperwork.
Literally, money is such a weird concept, and Formula One confuses me even more. Like, just any sports really, but like,
What, like touching a real wing is 50 grand?
no, it's the fact that these little boys
Oh,
pretty much
1,000, 1 million
grow
jelly
up
beans.
learning how to just drive a car, right? Like, I know it's a lot more than that, but in simple terms, these little boys from the age of 8 and 9 learn how to drive these carts, and then they get put into cars and cars and cars. Then all of a sudden they're now like 20 years old, and they're literally driving around in little oval circles for a couple of hours to fight for a trophy. They
Literally.
race
And
Literally
millions
what
of
it is.
dollars.
yes, but
And,
like,
and lots of
it's
money
just a
and
trophy.
fame.
But that's-
but-
Hang on.
that's the thing. I'm just like, they're fighting for a little
How
trophy.
many laps do they do in a year? How much does
some-
Max get paid per lap?
365.
Oh God, I don't even want to know that.
He's getting paid $50 million. What is that per lap?
You know what? A lot of money, Sam. Does it look
Well, it's like
I'm a
120 something
mathematician?
thousand dollars a day.
I'm not Einstein at the moment.
That's what
Or
confuses
ever.
me so much. Like, I love the drivers and I love Formula One, but it confuses me how money is just money in the world is such a big thing. Not even just in
What's our
Formula One.
sponsors?
Money is such a big thing in is so important for everything. And they really, like, yes, they get millions of dollars at the end of the championship, but they are fighting for a trophy and for their name to be written in a book. That's
Pretty
really
much.
all
Same.
it is. In simple terms, that's all it is. And it's just so funny how it's so important. But then again, it controls my life. It controls my
am-
life and my
I am
happiness.
currently
so.
adding up every
Like-
lap that they do.
Oh my gosh.
Rock on.
So
I didn't actually
can't-
think you were going to do it, but okay.
No, I'm doing it.
But speaking of
now you're
silly
curious.
maths
Yeah, I am.
and curiosity, Sam, we've got a little new segment that we're going to be including. Okay, Sam is going to be predicting the silly season because that is upon us, and Sam she has a desire for curiosity and
Not curiosity, chaos.
curiosity and chaos. So, Sam, tell us, what do you think is
I'm-
going to happen this silly season?
I mean, we've been seeing a whole lot of, like, I don't know, the driver tests that have come in and done it.
Yeah,
The rumors of driver swaps, the whole
Yeah.
Danny Rick saga, the fact they're even discussing the clauses in his contract that can allow them to terminate it. You don't talk about those unless they're actually being considered.
right.
I think the silly season is A, gonna hurt,
Okay, cool.
and
It's
B,
good to
gonna be
know.
exciting. I
it?
reckon. What do you mean be exciting?
Well,
I
I'll
think it'll be
probably be
exciting.
crying.
Oh yeah, no, I'm probably gonna cry, but no.
Okay, but tell us your thoughts.
I
What?
reckon at the end of this
Okay.
year,
Let's just start off. Red Bull, obviously
oh,
going
it's
to stay
staying the same, obviously. They're already
Mercedes.
contracted
Yeah.
it.
Staying the same.
Mercedes will stay the same.
Ferrari.
Stay the same.
Okay.
At this point in time. That's not staying the same.
McLaren.
McLaren is very hit or miss. I feel like it'll be the thing of they will keep no one, like Lando will be signed, but they won't keep Danny.
Isn't
They
Lando
won't-
already signed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
When?
like Lando is there, but they will keep Danny
Technically-
and all of us on the edge until that last race. And it will be the thing of if he wins a race and if he gets major points for the team, then it'll be, oh my God, go Danny, you're this amazing thing, we love you. But if he completely flunks at the season, because
Nah.
the thing is, they'll probably purposely flunk him.
I
that
don't
he
think-
doesn't succeed.
I think
No,
Zach
but
is
you know
done.
what I mean? Because
I
he'll be
heard
past-
something. Sorry.
With a great
I
plan.
don't know how true this is, but I heard that with that clause in his contract where if he doesn't perform, it's if he chooses to retire.
I
don't-
heard that as
reckon-
well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
I
want to
could
heard
be
read
that
that
too.
completely
contract.
wrong.
I want to pretend I'm a lawyer and read
Sorry.
that contract.
If anybody was wondering, they do 1,335 laps in a season. That's
Okay.
just in a race.
Now what is
Max Verstappen.
Max earns $50 million a year. How much is that a lap?
50 million divided by how many
How many
laps?
laps you just said?
Divided
But,
by
like,
133.
I feel like they will purposely I feel like only because
They've
Zach
just
has
given
made,
up on him.
how much is it?
Yeah.
$37,453
Per lap.
Per lap.
Per lap.
Rock on. Must be nice.
But I
to be
feel
rich.
like just to finish my sentence
He
before
earns
I like forget
What
what
I
it
have spent on my entire tuition
Never mind, sorry.
in one lap.
1 lap.
Max, let me borrow your car, please.
Keep
One
remembering
lap
it,
is all
so
I'm
keep
asking.
remembering it.
Okay, before I forget this, I feel like because Zach has so much power over what happens, right? And he seems like he wants Danny gone and to bring someone new in, right? Watch be Colton. Ugh. Anyways, that's not the
Ugh.
point. I'm getting distracted. Sorry. I want Danny to stay. But I feel like it'll get to the point where Danny will try to rise, to succeed, to prove his point. And Zach will call team orders. No, you have to let Lando, like Lando has to win. Lando has to do this. You have to let Lando do this. So therefore, Danny will lose out on
Do that.
everything. And he won't be succeeding because he won't be allowed to, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. I'm not wording this very well, but I hope you get my
No, no.
point.
I get it.
Like, because it seems like Zach wants him gone. So he'll find any
Rip.
way to get him gone. Whether that's making Danny miserable enough for Danny to fire, or if he finds a way to fire Danny. I mean, if Danny is so miserable, Danny wants to quit.
Danny wants to fire Danny.
I mean, we
Danny
saw what
does-
happened at the end, like 2018. Red Bull thought they were going to sign Danny again,
Yeah.
but Danny didn't want to be there. He did not like the environment that was being formed. So he
Which
left,
is fair enough.
which is what's
That's
happening
fair.
all over again right now. Only
Yeah.
difference is he's not out of contract at the end of this year.
What's
Okay.
so sad though is the fact he thought he had found his home and he was happy.
He
and was
had,
becoming
For
besties
like a
with.
solid year, and then they've
Lando.
just
Shut on
stabbed
him.
him in the back.
Okay, but Sam, if you don't think Danny is going to stay, what are your predictions then for the silly season? Let's hear it.
Okay, well, we know that Chico's staying with Red Bull, which
Yeah.
means what's Pierre going to do? What's Pierre
Yeah.
doing?
Tell
I
us,
think
what is
Mercedes.
Pierre doing?
Pierre will go to McLaren.
Spicy.
I think Seb will retire.
Mm-hmm.
So Danny's going to go to Aston Martin.
Danny
I don't
and
know why I
Stroll.
think that.
In ahead.
Pretty much, I'm
Danny and
just saying
Stroll?
that because
Mm.
I don't want to come to the fact that Danny will leave F1.
I don't reckon he will.
I don't reckon he will.
Danny has always said that until he feels like he can't fight for a championship is the day that he'll leave Formula One.
Yeah, factual.
Yes,
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 Zoe.
Danny and Stroll
Mm.
clashing heads or good friends?
No,
Will they get
I could see
along or will
them.
they
I could
clash
see them getting
heads?
along. I know it's
I
like
feel
very
like
odd, but I
Lance's
can see them getting along.
personality. I don't feel like I know Lance's personality.
He is a very lovely person. He's a very lovely and warm
yeah.
person. It's his racing that's very different. But
Do we
like
not say
Because he
personality
comes
wise,
across as a bit of a spoiled brat a lot of the time.
do we
He
not say
is-
his interview with like I do it for Scotland with Danny? Sorry.
I loved it.
That's all I think of.
Yes. No, but like Lance is a very like bubbly personality. He's Canadian. He has that like happy, bubbly Canadian personality, you know, like they're
So,
known for being
I think
nice.
the only person he really hasn't gotten along with was Chico, and then they kind of sorted it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By kicking him off.
No, they were getting along with each
Why?
other before he left. Hang on. Side note: Lawrence must be kicking
Kick you out,
himself
that's the problem.
for letting Chico go.
Right.
Literally,
yeah.
Yeah.
last race of the season, still doesn't have a drive. Welcome to Red Bull. What? What is
Literally.
that? That is like the move of all moves.
That is when I saw that on Drive to Survive, I was just like, oh wow.
Like losing your mind. Oh, let's go.
Mind you, I already knew as well because the
Yeah.
season had already started.
But it's just like the
But
mic drop
wow.
of just the call of
Yeah.
this is where it starts.
I was like, so that's how it happened. Rock on in a Drive to Survive interview. Wow,
That's
crazy.
so how it happened.
I know, clearly.
The contract was signed over the phone.
Oh yeah,
Just-
right there.
Just verbal.
That's all it
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
Welcome
that's
to
how
Red
it was.
Bull.
Welcome.
Why's my dad calling me?
Hey, is that how I get on something?
Yeah.
So,
Just
someone
welcome
just
to
have to
Red
call
Bull.
me and say welcome to okay. Red Bull?
I'm actually getting a call right now. I think it's Christian Horner. I think he's telling
I
me
think
welcome
he's
to
gonna.
Red Bull.
Yeah, I think so. If it's Zach saying welcome to McLaren, then run. welcome to
Depends.
McLaren. We'll treat you
Depends.
like a family.
No,
We're
depends.
gonna love you.
What
and
is
we're
what
gonna-
is his comments about
Is it
signing?
because I'm Aussie?
Yeah.
No, okay, so your other predictions, Sam, then.
So what did I say?
You
Danny to
said Pierre
Pierre
at
to McLaren,
McLaren.
Danny to Aston Martin, Seb retire,
Yep, sad reacts.
Albon back to AlphaTauri.
Interesting. I could see that happening though.
We all know Red Bull has a lot of time for him still. And I think we might end up seeing Nick De Vries in F1.
Please,
please.
But
please.
if that doesn't happen that way, I still think we might see Nick De Vries in F1 in place of Latifi. A Nick for a
really
Nick,
want
because
Nick
the
in
fact that they
Formula
put
One.
the fact that they put De Vries in Albon's car
Yeah.
shows that they
To
were trying
compare
to
the Knicks.
compare the Knicks. That's
To
the
see
only
what-
reason you do it.
Well, he did perform better, didn't he? Did he? I can't remember.
I can't
That was a while ago.
I would never get over how old Nick De Vries is. I
Yes.
just
Yeah, I can't
cannot.
believe how old he is either.
I would never get over that.
No, same.
He looks so young.
Yeah, and I feel like it was just yesterday,
Genetics.
like he won his F2 championship. But he really, it's been a while. Well, yeah. Anyways,
Did he like get into racing when he was a bit older, like, or did he
I
just?
can't tell you the
move up
backstory.
to
I don't really know much about him.
Yeah.
Neither.
Talking about feeling like things were forever ago, Brazil was 8 months ago, and also Oscar only won the championship last year. It feels like he won that championship
Why?
years ago.
God, where does Oscar
Oscar?
come into your plan, Sam?
Yeah, where's Oscar?
That
I know
so
you don't want to admit
we
it,
all know
but
Alpine isn't really going to say anything about Fernando until like Silverstone,
yeah.
and quite frankly, I have absolutely no clue what's going on there. So, if Fernando leaves, actually no, massive plot twist. If at the end of the season Lewis decides not to stay, Ocon to Mercedes, or alternately Pierre to Mercedes. I do see Pierre
So
as a
he's
bit of a
always there,
Mercedes
like-
boy.
I
there
will
is-
have Pierre. if
I should
can't
have like this
Lewis.
board behind me of all these like strings and drivers because there is a few that can cross
Can you
over.
do
Should I?
that?
I do have a whiteboard that I can just like magnetize everything to.
Um,
Is that going to be a new segment on
no.
our TikTok
What?
channel?
What if they swap? And because you know how Alpine are willing to hand over Oscar to McLaren if McLaren needs him. What if they swap an Aussie for an Aussie?
No,
would love that.
I don't want Oscar anywhere near
What
Zach.
Sam said. What Sam said.
But
Nope.
but what
Nope.
if? But I wonder,
Would-
would Oscar outperform Lando?
I'd love to see it. No
Yes.
offense.
Oscar
I-
will win a race.
Would McLaren let him outperform Lando?
Yeah.
I feel like because
Sorry,
we've
would
never
Zach
really
let him
seen-
outperform Lando?
Oh, my
because
headset
we've
just came out.
because we've never really seen that close of a battle between McLaren drivers. I guess we don't really know, like, I guess we don't really know how they would treat it, you know? Like, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I do.
I feel like you can hear my typing right now.
Oh shit.
No.
I feel like you
Lando
can
will
remember-
win a race at some point.
You guys all ignored that
Okay.
comment.
Sorry,
I was
my
too busy
friends
trying
came
to
out.
just say no, Oscar, don't go there.
Sam's brain is just like, there's so many connections.
Yeah,
What
you
driver
know,
could
we
go
all
in?
know that meme from the show
like
of the guy with the board
Styles
with all the
From
strings.
Teen
It's like,
Wolf. Oh,
yeah, I
Yeah,
am.
with the string.
With the string.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
The one that does the Pretty Little Liars.
I need to write
Yeah,
these down.
because-
We need to
you
put
need
these
like a
out
mind.
here.
You need like a mind map.
Yeah.
No, mind maps never worked for me.
Mind maps never work.
They never worked for
I
me.
was gonna say they never worked for me. They helped generate random ideas, but they never actually gave me anything to do anything good on.
I just hated them. They always looked messy.
Oh,
oh
and
yeah.
I have completely neglected to talk about Haas.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, what do you think's gonna?
continue.
Schumacher's seat
proceed.
is in jeopardy.
I do have to say people have been saying that a lot.
Yeah.
His seat is in
scares me.
jeopardy. It might his seat might end up coming down to the sponsors of the team. They wanted a German driver.
Yeah.
There's not really many German drivers
Other than
to
Seven
swap
Mick.
out, and also the Ferrari influence.
I do think that like Mick.
If he doesn't
He-
pick up if he
it-
doesn't pick up
yeah.
his game, he's out.
I do have
Yeah.
to say though, I'm not trying to like back him up for the, like all the mistakes he's made, but he does have more pressure than most drivers on the grid.
He does.
Because
Yeah,
he was
living up
brought
to your
into
name.
Formula One as Michael Schumacher's son. He is Michael Schumacher's son. He's been given a reputation of, he's not Mick Schumacher who is trying to get comfortable in the sport. He is Michael Schumacher's son. Therefore, he should be winning races in his first year and he should be a champion by like in his first year. He should be a
Did
champion in his second
he-
year, in his third year, in his fourth year. It's like you're putting too much pressure on him. Let him be his own person, then maybe he'll do well. But you're making him live up to a god. And
Yeah.
that's not really you can't do that, you know.
Yeah.
Did he win F2 the year before he joined F1?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thought so.
But it's like he has too much pressure on him that it's like
And
He-
just
everyone
like I
wants-
guess it's also like in Formula One, you kind of need to be in that point of like, do you let the pressure get to you? I think
Yeah.
Formula One is a lot of like your mental strength as well. You know, like
I
it's a
don't
lot
think
of
he's had like
pressure.
okay, so his like mistakes haven't been based on pressure. Okay, Miami, that was just a bad move.
Yeah.
It's a very questionable move. But his errors aren't errors as such.
no,
Monaco,
I'm-
the car literally just got away from him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But there
talking
was
about
no explanation for it.
What was with Magnussen getting annoyed at Mick crashing? Like, oh, like screw you.
I
for
don't
crashing.
think it was
Why'd you do
annoyed.
that? Like, what?
No, I think
what
it was
was
just,
his
like, shitty for the
reaction, or
team.
was it just the camera? It was
I
just
think it
Adam
was
on
just
it,
that
boom.
we're
Like,
both out because he's already out.
Yeah.
It was a double DNF.
Yeah, but
But also,
I
hang
think
on. What
yeah,
about who
but
knew
why-
that Kevin had DNF?
nobody.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
it was just
They
Mitch
just-
cars getting picked up, and then
They
they
were just
turned to
like-
Kevin,
And
and
then
the
they just
picture
showed
like, what?
Kevin.
Once
It was
again,
just like, where did he
minimal
go from?
coverage of the whole grid.
I remember
Yeah.
saying to Amber, because I was watching it with her, Formula Ambi for those who don't know. Sorry, I just muted
just
myself.
muting
for a
yourself.
second. And I was like, when did K-Mag just DNF? Like, when did he retire? And she was like, I've got no idea.
What a
He
pressure
DNF'd,
issue.
and then Haas
Yes.
didn't even make any like tweets or post about it anyway.
No.
Like I was looking at their
No.
Twitter, like, come on, tell me that, like, why he DNF'd, did he crash?
Yeah,
There was
I couldn't find
nothing.
anything on it.
And I was
I
so
didn't know
confused.
until I think Ted said it. And that's how
They
I found
just
out.
showed him, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we didn't even get time to say that." Kevin DNF'd. It was just like, okay.
Yeah.
You didn't have time. There was nothing really
Because
going
it
on
was,
in that
I was really
race.
confused because I was really confused because it was like they showed Mick's car, but they hadn't said that it was Mick at first. I don't think they said like that's one of the Hasses in a wall, and then they showed Mick, and then they showed K-Mag. I was like, oh, it's K-Mag, but then they were like, it's Mick, and I was like, what?
Oh, yeah. Really
my,
awkward.
my brain was just like so confused.
But yeah, back to Mick. I feel like his crashes haven't been because of pressure, but I feel like his whole entrance into Formula One, his performance, like last year, we're just going to forget about last year because Haas just wasn't there.
Yeah.
But I
That was
feel like
the most
the
tractor of
pressure
tractors.
behind his name, everyone thinks that he's going to do amazing. So when he's not and he's at the back of the grid, everyone's like, oh, he's shit. Oh, he's blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, maybe if you just forget he's Michael Schumacher's son for a minute. Think of him as just a random new driver. Just don't relate him to the success of his
Short
father.
view back to the past.
But I
And
still
then-
think that
I feel like he's probably mentally psyched out, like, oh, everyone wants me to be like my dad. I mean, I'm just assuming here, but he's probably like, everyone wants me to be like my dad. I can't be like that. Like, I
Yeah.
want to, but I can't right now. And so I'm disappointing everyone.
I feel like this may come across really like rude, and I don't mean it to come across like this, but I do feel like there could be a chance that Mick, considering his performance, should probably lose his seat at the end of the year just because his performance this year. Obviously, it's only 7 races in, but I feel like there is a chance that he could possibly keep the seat because of the name.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. That's
Yeah,
like
I
what
mean,
just
he's
said.
already
the sponsors,
been-
the fact that
Yeah.
German sponsors want a German driver. There's next to no
Yeah.
one to replace that.
Exactly.
And he's almost been
The
pretty
Ferrari
much
influence,
guaranteed a
because the
seat
Ferrari
in
wants-
Ferrari in the next couple
Yeah.
of
Could
years
sort
if
of
he can
shit
pick
out.
his pace up. They will kick Carlos if like once his contract ends, they'll kick Carlos if Mick can up his pace
Imagine if Carlos
because he's
went to
been guaranteed
Mercedes.
that seat, and it's like,
Oh, I'm sorry, but Mercedes wouldn't take Carlos.
Why?
nah.
That man in
still-
gravel traps, even on tire testing days, he ends up stuck in a gravel
So
trap.
true.
I'm
Oh, do
sorry,
we all see that?
Imagine
That's bad.
Carlos in a Mercedes goes into a gravel trap. Toto's poor headphones. Toto's poor headphones are gonna be gone.
I feel
like-
like everybody's forgetting that last season Carlos,
Did
unless
better
I'm
than
wrong,
Charles.
yeah, he outperformed Charles last season. I
Yeah.
feel like everybody is forgetting that this season. Everybody's like, oh, Carlos is this, Carlos is that. Like, he's not doing well. He's like underperforming. But everybody went from last year
Last
thinking
year,
that Carlos is
Carlos
the most
was on
underrated
fire.
driver on the grid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we
It
also
was
just-
it was always Charles versus Lando for P whatever it was. Blah 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 blah. Who ended up pipping both of them?
Yeah, exactly.
Carlos.
I feel like everybody
Was
went
came out
last
of
year.
nowhere.
I thought Charles still finished P4.
No, I think it went Carlos, Lando, Charles in the end.
Carlos was almost like silent but violent.
I'll
like
find
he
out for
got
you
there
guys.
and he did it, but
Yeah,
he did it
maybe-
silently.
I'm pretty sure on that.
I think so as well.
No, what is up with like?
Now you got me
did-
questioning my memory.
It's
He
like
Sorry.
everyone.
switch up so fast. On
My
drivers.
thing is though, right? Everyone. I feel like everyone had this
No, it
kind
was-
of
it
idea
was
in
Carlos.
their head.
You're right, Sam.
I feel like everyone
Whoop,
had this
whoop, my
idea in
memory.
their head going into the season that every driver would be perfect and every driver would be winning races. I'm sorry, that never happens in ever. That never happens in ever.
Yeah.
Not every driver on the grid will win a race. Also, there's new cars and new regulations in the sport, right? Everyone's having to get comfortable. So of course, these people are going to be who are going to be sucking ass and like are going to be at the back of the grid who maybe shouldn't be at the back of the grid, but like that doesn't mean they're a bad driver. That means they're not comfortable.
I
in their
feel
car.
like-
the car isn't made for them. It's a new car.
Yeah, and
They're
I feel like
learning.
Monaco is probably not the best place to try and prove yourself. If you have a like shit quality, you can't really do much.
Yeah.
You know,
And as well, lots of people's qualities got stuffed up because of
What about the fact that the three that was parked
yeah.
that was
tunnel
hilarious.
No,
were the
I
ones
was-
that ended up on the podium? Or Chico's his radio noise when he got hit.
Or
Yeah.
the
I'm
two
sorry,
that
guys, I'm out.
or the two that crashed before the race even started.
That is
Latifi
the
and
most
Stroll both
Latifi
went
thing
into the
that
wall.
That was
This
so
car
badly.
just
funny.
didn't
But
turn.
of course, those two both touched the walls before the race even properly
That
started.
was
I was like,
pretty
of all people. Of
Latifi knew that he wasn't going to end up in the wall in the race, so he was like, "I've just got to
I'll do
give
it.
them
I'll
something."
give him something a little bit beforehand.
I was just like, what a coincidence. Like, I'll do it when it's like safe, when I can like safely do it and not get in anyone's way, and we'll be fine. I can't ruin a race if I do it now.
He didn't want to
Anyways,
risk
I
feel
screwing up a
like-
Red Bull race.
feel like everything I've said has been slightly controversial today, so I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I just feel like everybody's really like switching up their thoughts on drivers a lot
They really
Yeah.
are.
season.
They really
Like,
are.
Everybody, like, I know, back to Carlos. Everybody went from being like, Carlos is criminally underrated, he's the most underrated driver on the grid, to being all like, oh, Carlos
overrated.
sucks. Like, you know?
yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just like, where is all this like hate before we wrap up? Just where has all this like hate come from? Like, it's not even just people disliking drivers.
It's just
all over social media, it's just blatant straight
It's
hate
just
at all the drivers
suddenly-
for not being comfortable in a car.
it's just
they've
suddenly
never
there's
driven
no
before.
Hamilton versus Verstappen toxicity to fuel
So
it.
let's put it out.
They've
on
got to put it
everyone else.
elsewhere.
Yeah.
You know, last year it was all preoccupied on one event. Now it's oh well, we don't have that. What can we do?
Yeah.
I do kind of want to buy like a Max Verstappen hat, just like to wear in Silverstone, just to wear it, just to see the looks.
I will fund it. I just want to see that happen.
I just
If you
think
can't tell, I do live for causing chaos.
Chaos.
God, imagine
So-
Sam if she ever went to Silverstone. She would be like,
I would be hate crime before I even got in the gate.
yeah.
The security guards wouldn't even let you in.
That's it. If you're not,
You are a Max fan. We do not want you here. Leave.
Definitely.
I am a sane Max fan.
You are. I mean, hey, you're good friends with me. And I mean, I am
Literally.
also a Max fan, but we know how I am with Lewis.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
I think if you don't know
I'm
by now,
sitting
I'd be
here
a bit concerned.
With the Lewis Hamilton Mercedes driver's card on my wall, the Mercedes Lego,
the Mercedes little
and the Funko Pops.
Yeah.
Funko Pops.
Lewis.
I
Also,
think
just
that-
before another comment before we wrap up, Bottas this season.
So good.
He has
Love
been
Bottas.
Loving it.
flying under the
the
radar.
revenge arc.
True. The revenge arc.
And how he said how he's like so happy at Alpha. I'm
I
like,
know.
I just love seeing Bottas happy.
Isn't
love
it just
seeing
Bottas
awesome?
happy.
He is living his best life. He doesn't have the pressure of having to be a second driver. He can be whatever
Yeah.
driver he wants.
He
just
drives to
Alpha
his
is
own
so well
capability.
driven. He's finally getting to actually compete with Lewis, which is
Yeah.
something he's always wanted to do. And so he's like, I
With
don't
no
have to
team
have someone
orders or
te-
anything.
Yeah, I don't have to have someone telling me not to go past him. I can pass
Yeah.
him if I want. And it must be
Facts.
so like
Such an
relieving. Like,
exchange
oh
that
my
Lewis
god, like
passed
I can
place.
finally do this. The first time in so many years, I can finally just do this. Like
Yeah.
no hate
I-
towards him. but
I
can
want
we-
him to get a podium.
I want him to get a podium as
Yes.
well. Matching
Actually-
us at Baku.
I'm going to
Okay.
change my Baku prediction.
Okay.
I'm changing it. What did I say before? Max, Checo, Bottas.
Okay.
That is
Sam,
my
like that.
Baku
write that
prediction.
down.
Can we just talk about how Lewis and Bottas have kept their friendship?
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
kings.
So cute.
The
I love it, I love
personalized
it.
and signed
In the photo.
Bottas
of-
behind.
Yes.
Photo.
And then Lewis, oh my god, I was gonna say Lando. Then Lewis saying he'll put the picture of him sitting and he'll put it on I'll make him look like he's sitting on the rock. So he's sitting beside Bottas.
I love
was
it.
like, yes, this is
That
what we
duo.
need. This is what we need. I love it. Anyways, we should probably
yeah.
wrap this up.
Anyways, so as we're wrapping up, let's all say goodbye to Lucy because this is literally our last time we're gonna see her and we're gonna
I'll
miss
be
her.
back. I'll be back, guys.
Should we
back.
back?
We'll
Should
be
we make
back.
us all jealous with all of
Yeah.
her
I'll be back.
stories?
I'll be back in Hungary.
Film
and I will
content for
expect.
us.
I'll expect to have like 20 minutes just to talk about my experience at Silverstone. So
Yeah, perfect.
So that
We'll be
episode
here
will
for
be
it.
dedicated the Lucy episode.
that will be
Yeah.
good. Maybe I should just do it myself.
Yeah,
Maybe we should
absolutely.
just interview you.
Yeah. Just
Lucy,
ask me
yeah.
questions.
I
Okay.
think so.
All about me.
So yeah, and thank you all for listening. And once again, thank you all so much for your support. It is always so greatly appreciated for all of us. And yeah, thanks guys. Bye.
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 Bye.